These are the 9 core Stoic beliefs to get you started into a perfect and fulfilling life. 1. If you want a smooth flow of life, live according to nature. The Stoic God was not transcendent and above nature, but instead was synonymous with it. Their pantheism, God in all things, held that each of us shared in the divine fire. Like other Greek thinkers who preceded him, Zeno believed that each of us has a daemon, an inner genius or purpose that connects us to the universal nature. Those who live by keeping the individual and universal natures in harmony are happy, and those who don't are not. The disjunction of these two natures is a root source of human misery and not how we are meant to live. 2. Happiness isn't found in things, but in virtue alone. It's all about what we value and the choices we make. The early Stoics often disagreed about many particulars, but they all agreed that for human beings, the happy life was to be found only in the pursuit of virtue, a pursuit that involved tempering our desires, aversions, and impulses so that they align better with the 4 cardinal virtues of temperance, justice and practical wisdom. Simply put, for human beings, virtue happens to be the best operating system for making our way through the world. It's the program we are all meant to be following. These 4 main virtues, and the many sub-virtues that relate to them, are where our focus needs to be, and they are a package deal, inseparable and complete. 3. We don't control external events, we only control our thoughts, opinions, decisions and duties. When we keep externals in the proper perspective, we gain a steadiness that helps us along life's way. In the real world, we all have things we need and duties and obligations that arise from our family, relationships, and vocations. 4. We have each been given all the inner resources we need to thrive. We aren't born in sin, or hopelessly corrupt and without any means in the battle of life. On the contrary, Cleanthes held that we are each born with the resources we need to thrive in our life's journey. He wrote that we all had the seeds of virtue in us, that we were like half-completed poems and our job in life was to work to make a complete and beautiful poem. We may face bad environments and obstacles along the way, he wrote, but it's no different than how the confining rules of poetry give the art its beauty, or how the compression of air by a trumpet's pipes creates a beautiful sound. Inborn tools together with hard effort will get us to where we want to go. We must focus on the task at hand, and waste not a moment on the tasks that are not ours. We must have courage. We must be fair. We must check our emotions. We must, above all, be wise. 5. We must eliminate toxic emotions. Why hope, fear, and anger are always the worst strategies. If we neglect these inborn resources and fail to remove our false beliefs and the destructive emotions that arise from them, we will find ourselves mired in anxiety, anger, fear, envy, and a host of toxic and counterproductive states. A result of this failure is that our duties to family and our roles as leaders will suffer no matter the endeavor. We often hear today that hope is not a strategy. It's a nice knock on the lack of planning, but that kind of vague projection onto future events is really itself a toxic emotion. The Stoics reminded us that fear was just the flip side of hope. Hope and fear are nothing more than letting our thoughts and beliefs project into the future concerning positive or negative outcomes we do not control. 6. We are and must remain a unified self. We can't complain or blame anyone else, and that it's always best to deal with our own demons. The Stoics believed in a unified rational self. They took responsibility for maintaining that unity and would never support such thinking as, "the devil made me do it," or any other form of laying the blame or responsibility elsewhere. The notable exception among the Stoics was the towering genius Posidonius, who changed Stoic psychology to give what he thought was a better account of the irrational forces he saw tearing great leaders like Pompey apart during his own time. One must design one's life, Posidonius said, to live contemplating the truth and order of the universe and promoting it as much as possible, being led in no respect by the irrational part of the soul. Yet he was still arguing the main point of the Stoics, that we can't be divided against ourselves. 7. No man is an island, the Stoic golden rule. Try as we might, to live in a world dominated by our own interests, we will suffer and fail to realize our humanity unless we are constantly working to connect our sphere of concern with the concerns of others. Hierarchos offers a simple solution based on his ingenious model. We should try always to bring the outer circles closer to ourselves, that is, to treat family like you would yourself, to treat a friend as you would family, to treat a fellow citizen as you would a friend, to treat a countryman as a fellow citizen, and, finally, to treat a foreigner as you would your own countryman. In all that we do, we should try to bring these circles closer to ourselves. No man is an island, and none untouchable. 8. Our personal development is bound up in cooperation with others. Marcus wrote that every morning he would wake up and think of all the troublesome people he would encounter that day, but then sternly reminds himself that, because he knew the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, he would focus instead on how they were really his family and that we are all made for cooperation. Elsewhere he would write, whenever you have trouble getting up in the morning, remind yourself that you've been made by nature for the purpose of working with others. That's a powerful mantra to carry us through each day. 9. Persist and resist. It's all about progress, not perfection. The Stoics saw the art of living as a process of continuous improvement. They believed in progress, not perfection. No matter our roles and duties, no matter the obstacles and difficulties we face, they reminded us that there is always a deeper work going on. The Stoics saw us as both artisans and artifacts. While we work on the things of everyday life, we are doing a deeper work on ourselves. As we make progress in our various endeavors and encounter setbacks, we are constantly improving ourselves, thinking through things better, learning to anticipate trouble, choosing to act in a more virtuous way, and eliminating toxic emotions. Thanks for listening, and we hope these golden principles will surely transform your life.